This is a Shields of Shame exclusive.
Meet shamed ex-cop from the Savannah, Georgia Police Department, LUIS Manuel Esquina. Luis was fired and decertified in the state of Georgia for being deceptive in an internal investigation, but you have to know why because it's just too ridiculous. Our story begins with Luis being questioned by a supervisor about a police-ordered doctor's visit that he was supposed to attend earlier in the day but didn't, and wanted hospital staff to lie to police and tell them he was there when he wasn't. The supervisor already has the truth, and he wants to see if Luis will be truthful. Unfortunately, Luis is a cop. This is a paradox between cops and a rare scenario where a cop copsplains to another cop and cops out to a cop about a copy of his cop sheets. This is a multi-part series, so please be sure to check the playlist link below as well as behind-the-scenes files and extras. Thank you.
Hey, how are you, ma'am?
Good.
Hey, real quick, I needed to check on him. Did y'all do a drug screen on him?
I'm sorry?
Did he do a drug screen?
Yeah, Mr. Ben Lewis from
Okay, so you guys did that?
5 panel? Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
what you wanted?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we
All
did that. We didn't do a breath alcohol test.
Okay, right, of course. All right.
No, that's yours, and I'll send everything over to your employer. Thank you. Okay, you're good.
All right, you good, man. Hey, could I speak to you real quick? All right, give me 1 second. I'm sorry. I know you guys are getting ready to close it on, but did he come up here earlier today?
Because I know because he spoke with the nurse in the room and wanted us to lie. Because he spoke with the nurse in the room and wanted us to lie and say that he was there. So what he did was call his doctor when he knew it. And I guess he came in, because I know he called me around about 7 o'clock and see if we could see him. And I said, yes, we close at 8, and then he came in at 7:50.
Okay.
So that's the time we saw at 7:50. He's just not leaving. We didn't see him anywhere.
Okay. So at anytime somebody comes here, would you guys have provided paperwork?
Yes.
Okay.
And we have to call for authorization.
All right. Hey, Smitty, I'm going to call you right back, all right? All right.
Yeah, I'm going to talk to him right now. Okay, thank you.
All right, so you good. I just needed to make sure that they did the drug screen.
Okay, so Mr. Sergeant Petit.
Uh-huh.
I came here earlier. I sat down. I called my wife's doctor because I knew what they were going to tell me.
Okay.
And I didn't want to go on light duty. I've been out of this job for literally a year.
Okay.
And I miss my job. I love my job with all my heart. And all I want to do is just serve the people of Savannah.
I got you.
I come to work, I do my job. I'm looking at you man to man in the face. I know that we've gotten off on the wrong start because I haven't listened to the things the way you and Sergeant Smith have wanted me to listen to it.
All right.
And I do apologize for that. But I didn't want them to take what I just got back from me.
Okay.
That was my biggest thing.
I got you. Listen to me. All right, I'm about to ask you a direct question.
Yes, sir.
All right. Did you come here and sit in this lobby?
No, I came here. Right here. This is where I sat.
Okay.
I literally came here.
So you came in this parking lot and sat?
No. I was literally over there just
thinking about it, and then I just called my wife's doctor. I was right here. I then called Sergeant Smith to tell him I spoke with a doctor.
Okay, what's the doctor's name?
Dr. Ododo.
And that's who you spoke with? I mean, that's who...
Yes, my wife's doctor. She just told me to just take some. It wasn't even like a 2-minute conversation. It was just like, take some ibuprofen ice. That's it.
Okay, all right. So what instructions did they give you?
For them?
Yes.
They said light duty, no bending down, no picking up nothing heavy,
Okay.
no running.
All right, and
like
so in order to put you on light duty, we've got to send it through the command and allow them to sign off on the paperwork. So until they sign off on the paperwork, you got to stay home. All right?
What is that? I won't be getting paid or anything? Like
No, you'll be getting paid because you'll be on workman's comp. But until after the command has to sign off, stating that you can come because light duty has to be approved.
Okay.
It can't just have light duty. So
like I said, I don't want to be on light duty.
Well,
and I know I have to be, but this is the reason as to why I didn't want to come in here.
I got you.
I already know what was going to happen to me if I did come in here, because I haven't been able to sleep the right way.
Okay.
And I got up earlier.
Well, this is why we have this process in place. If you're hurt, you're gonna. I mean, it is what it is. A lot of people go on light duty. Everybody, if you've been here more than 10 minutes, everybody's been on light duty for something. In this line of work, you get hurt. All right, but listen to their instructions, and until the command clears for you to come back to work, you're gonna have to stay home. All right, because we have to get the assignment approved for you.
Okay, so my question is, for this, will I be getting an OPS number or something like that?
Why would you get an OPS number?
I don't know. I just don't know how none of this works. That's the reason I didn't want.
For getting hurt on duty, would you get an OPS number? How does that? That makes no sense. If I run out here and trip, and I'm on duty.
Because, like, let's say that, because I basically said that I wasn't hurt and I was.
Okay, and that happens. And we'll look through all that or whatever. Now, if there's something that you feel that you need to tell me, then that's a different story. But okay, so I mean, all it is we got to wait till light duty is approved, and then once light duty is approved, you'll come back to work.
That's the idea that I had earlier, was just coming in here, and I didn't want to come in, and now I'm in this entire situation, and I should have just came in here in the first place.
Okay, I mean that's that's a decision you made. All right, so like I said, the next step, you got to sit, you got to wait until they approve light duty.
Okay, and they told me to come back Tuesday.
And that's
Tuesday to get checked, to get rechecked out again.
Do you have the paperwork that they gave you?
Yeah, I told Sergeant Smith I was going to go to the precinct and hand it into him right now.
I'll take it back up there. Okay, I'll take that up there, and then we'll get the process going. Did you answer the specific questions he had about date of birth, address, and all that stuff?
He told me that. He said that he wanted me to send him a picture of that.
Okay, I'm gonna take it up to him.
Okay.
All right, sir.
Sergeant Eric Smith, SPD Internal Affairs Unit. Today's date is 5/12/2020. It is 15:20 hours. I'm here at the Immediate Med Center on Canal Street in Pooler with Miss Candace. Like I told you in the beginning, we're not here for any criminal investigation, anything like that. We're conducting an administrative investigation on one of our employees. And it had come to my knowledge that one of our employees came here on Friday, I believe, and had spoken with you in order to want to, I guess, get you to tell something to one of the our supervisors. Could you kind of walk me through that?
So he came in around 7:50. We close at 8 o'clock. And my coworker told me that he had called a little bit earlier and asked could we see him.
Okay.
She told him yes, and we were what time we closed and everything. So he came in and wanted to be a workers' comp claim. And we had to call and get authorization for it and all. So I pulled him in the back and triaged him. I was sitting at my computer, putting everything in the computer. And he stepped in the hall and asked, could he speak with me for a minute? And I told him, I was busy at the moment, give me a few minutes and I'd come in there. So when I got done and got up and walked in there, he said, can I ask you a question? And I said, sure. So I went in the room, we shut the door because I still had another patient in here. And he said, is there any way you can tell my work that I was here earlier? And I said, what do you mean earlier? He said, like earlier. And I was like, no. I said, we can't do that. He's like, well, he said, I told them that I had already been here.
So he wanted you to say that you were here.
Correct.
He was here.
And had not been.
And he had not been here.
Correct.
Essentially just lie for him.
Exactly.
Okay.
At that point, the provider walked in the room and asked me, what was going on. And I told her, and she said, point blank, no, we're not going to do that. I'm sorry that you've, lied to your job and now you're in trouble. She's like, but we're not doing anything. Okay. And that's all he really asked of me.
Okay. Was he in uniform or was he in?
He was not. He was in civilian clothes.
Civilian clothes? Okay. Do you remember the officer's name?
I'm going to be honest, I do not. If I saw it, I would know it, but just off the top of my head, I do not remember it.
Would you remember if you saw a picture of him?
Yes. Yes.
That's him? All right. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
So we conclude this interview. It is 15:23 hours. Sergeant Eric Smith with Savannah PD Internal Affairs Unit. I'm here with Officer Esquina. State your full name and payroll for me, please.
63510, LUIS ESQUINA.
We're here regarding OPS number 200031.
10-4, sir.
Prior to us getting started, you were provided a copy of your Garrity warnings, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you also were provided a copy of notification of administrative investigation.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. You've read over them.
Yes, sir.
And you understand them. I know you had questions prior to us turning this on, but you have been answered those questions. You understand your Garrity warnings?
Yes, sir.
Okay. At this point, go ahead and sign. Sign and date it.
Is there any possible way that I can, with my PBA or something like that, have to deal with something with this?
Absolutely not. This is administrative investigation. Lawyers
Okay.
are not permitted. It's not a criminal
That's
aspect. All right, Officer Esquina, you are currently assigned to what precinct?
East.
East Side Precinct. Thank you. All right. The reason you're here is regarding an injury you sustained a couple of weeks ago. You recall? All right. Tell me about how you sustained that injury.
I was looking for an individual that matched the description of a person involved in a Signal 28. Apparently the lady was telling us that he had grabbed her by the neck. So me and Officer Scaff said, hey, I'm gonna go outside, I'm gonna go downstairs, get you the paperwork, ma'am. Which is when I told Scaff, hey, listen, I'm just gonna go patrol the area, which is when I did. I went around the property. When I went around the property, the description that I was given was a guy with a black jacket, graffiti, but with a black shirt as well, and medium-sized dreads.
Reddish came in, he got on all black.
He had on all black.
And he got like a red patch on I don't know if it's on the right.
He had a hat on, or?
No, he had dreads.
What do you mean a red patch?
Like
Oh, on his
it
dreads?
says,
Oh, just like dyed? Oh, okay. And he was wearing all black, like a short sleeve shirt?
Jean jacket.
A black
And they
jean
got,
jacket?
they got some like graffiti or something on the back.
I proceeded to stop this individual that had on a black t-shirt, medium-sized dreads, black as well. He didn't have the graffiti jacket on, but I went on the full description of when she said.
So he matched the description?
Yeah, he matched the description.
Come on around the back. Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Put your hands behind your back. Okay. Put your hands behind your back. 502, what's your 20? Okay. I got him 1095.
I said, sir, could you please stop for me? He kept moving back. He was on his phone. Next thing you know, I said, sir, don't run from me. He ran from me, which is when I notified Metro. Hey, I got one running. I ran after the guy. Once I ran after the guy, he ended up tripping on the median. You can see it on my body camera. When I came down, I hit my knee on the ground.
Get on the ground. Put your hands behind your back. Okay. Put your hands behind your back.
I cuffed him, etc. That's it.
Okay. When did you notice you were injured?
I told Sergeant Smith that day. He said, was it a use of force? I said, no, sir, I didn't use any force at all. The only thing I did was cuff him. He fell over the median himself. So Sergeant Smith proceeded to not believing me. And
But he didn't believe what?
that I did not use force. He asked Officer Villanueva if I used force. Villanueva came to me later on in the day saying, hey, Sarge, was asking a couple of us if you did in fact use force. And I'm just like,
Was there any reason to indicate that you did? Was the guy injured or bleeding, anything
no,
like that?
he was just bleeding from the when he fell, he scraped himself.
Okay.
That's about it. I told him, sir, no, I did not use force.
Okay.
So you can see it strictly on my camera. Didn't find that professional that he had to go ask my colleagues when I'm telling you, hey, listen, I didn't use force at all. I didn't put my hands on this guy. The only thing I did was cuff him.
Okay. When did you notice that you were injured?
He asked me the same day, are you hurt? And I told him, I was just like, no, but I was hurting, but
Why'd
not
you
that.
tell him no?
Because I said, okay, maybe when I get home and I'll ice it, it won't be anything serious. So I came to work. The next day, my knee was burning a little bit.
What was injured? What was hurting?
My knee, my right knee.
Your right knee?
Yeah.
Okay. So you reported that you were, well, he asked you, Sergeant Smith asked you, was you injured that day? And you told him you wasn't.
I said, no. I said, sir, I'll just put some ice on it. Anything. That's exactly what I said.
Okay. Okay. You say no, you wasn't injured, but you're gonna put ice on it. So
That's it. That's all I said.
well, you must have been injured. Is what I'm saying. Like I
Yeah,
hear you saying that, but
Yeah, he just told me just do a first of injury report, which I didn't do during the day because he wanted me to do a case file. So I was with Officer Scaff doing this case file because I never done one before. But Officer Scaff was telling me, dude, this doesn't make any sense. You're doing a case file right now. Your report still has to be approved. You still got to get the guy's criminal history. And I was just like, okay, but just teach me whatever you can teach me now. And I honestly forgot about that. I called out, I think it was on Friday. I think it was Thursday that I called out. I believe so.
So you were asked to do a first injury report by Sergeant Smith, Sergeant Brian Smith?
Yes.
Okay.
I called out Thursday. I didn't come into the precinct till Monday. No, sorry, that's a lie. I didn't come into the precinct, I believe. I didn't come into the precinct at all. I just called him on the phone and said, hey, Sarge, I went to the doctor when I really didn't go to the doctor. I just spoke over the phone with a doctor that my wife had been talking to.
Well, hold on. Before we get to that part, was there a time where you checked off a few days later?
Yeah.
After the injury?
Yes, sir.
You checked off because of the injury?
Yes,
correct?
sir.
When you checked off because of that injury, who did you speak with telling me you were checking off the first time you checked off?
I just sent a message on the, I tried to call them several times.
Well, okay, when I say spoke to, I should have said notify. Who did you notify that you
I
was
notified
checking
both of them.
Who's both of them?
Sergeant Petit and Smith through email, and I also let the supervisor from the night prior know that I wasn't coming in.
Okay. And you weren't coming in because of that injury?
I didn't say the injury, I just said I'm using a sick day.
Right. I'm saying that, but you was, okay, I got you. At this point, it's a few days later. The injury occurred, I believe, on the 30th of April.
Yeah.
All right. And a few days later,
I came into work limping, and you can actually ask Sergeant Smith and Petit. They saw me limping. I just came to work, didn't give no mind to it, which is then when I called off on Thursday.
Okay.
And
so by Thursday, had you filled out the first injury report?
I don't remember which day I filled it out. I know that I filled it out when I came back in, because I went into the office of Sergeant Smith because he did call me in there, and I did fill it out and gave it to him, and he was telling me that it was important, such and such. But when I did call him the day before, I called him over the phone, and I was just like, hey, Sarge, I should be into work tomorrow, no problem, which is when he started yelling at me on the phone. I had a few officers tell me, hey, dude, what happened? Why was Sergeant Smith yelling at you over the phone? I'm just like, dude, I don't know.
Well, we have, according to what we have, that you did not fill out first report of an injury, even after the first time. After the first report, the first time when you was injured, you did not fill out a first report of an injury. Okay, then you checked off a few days later, and you still hadn't filled that report of an injury out. So
I know I filled it like on a Monday, I think, right?
When you returned to work, I believe on the 5th, maybe. You were asked why you hadn't filled it out. You said you forgot to do it.
That's exactly what I said. I said, sir, I forgot to do it. I apologize.
But you do understand that your supervisor gave you an order to fill that out, and that should have been followed up with, being that you were injured.
Yeah, that was just a mistake on my behalf.
Okay. So it says you returned on the 5th, I believe. That's like a Tuesday. And you worked that day, or?
I honestly just, I can't remember really, but I know that I did work one of those days.
Okay.
And I ended up checking off, I don't know, it was Thursday. And I spoke with Sergeant Smith on the phone either Sunday or something like that. I told him, hey, I spoke with I went to the hospital, and I didn't go in reality. I was just circling around Pooler. And I ended up speaking to a doctor that my wife was talking to on the phone.
Well, hold on. On Thursday, I believe, the 7th, you end up checking off again.
That's what it was. That's the day that it was that I checked off.
Okay, so you checked off again.
That's what I was telling you.
And then, and you told him, I guess you would be returning work the next day, which would have been the 9th.
Correct.
You told him on Thursday that you would be checking off, which would be for Friday.
Yeah.
Which would have been the 8th. And then you told him, I'll be back the next day, which would be Saturday, the 9th. Okay. On the 8th, did you tell Sergeant Smith that you had gone to the doctor?
Yeah, that's what I was telling you.
Had you in fact gone to the doctor?
No, I just spoke to a doctor.
Why did you tell him you went to the doctor?
Because I spoke with one over the phone from New York City. And
that's different than going to the doctor. Would you agree?
Yeah.
So when Sergeant asked you, did you go to the doctor, you understood that he meant that you physically went to the doctor?
I mean, technically, yeah, but with all the COVID and all that stuff going on,
I'm not talking about COVID, just a simple question of...
No, yes or no.
If your supervisor asks you, did you go to the doctor? It's a yes or no whether you went to the doctor or not. That's what I mean. And when in fact you did not go to the doctor, right?
10-4.
You also told them that your knee was sprained, and you was told to take
contusion. I mean, it was not a contusion. I told them that my knee was swollen, and I was just told to just ice it and just take ibuprofen.
Okay. And who told you that?
Dr. Adodo. I don't know from what emergency room it was from, but it's one of the doctors that my wife saw before, and she just called and contacted.
Were they from here?
No.
Okay. So it wasn't anybody from here?
No.
Just somebody that your wife is familiar with. Okay. So at some point did they ask you which doctors you went to? Okay, and you told them what? When I say they, I mean your supervisor. They asked you what doctor you went to.
I didn't give him an answer in the beginning.
Okay, in the end, what answer did you give him?
I told him at the end outside, I just spoke to Dr. Dodo over the phone.
You never told him you went to St. Joe's Immediate Med in Pooler?
I told him that I did. Yes, okay. I did do that.
Was that the truth?
At the beginning, no, because I didn't want to go to the doctor, no. Because I didn't want to get put on leave, which is what ended up happening.
So when they asked you what doctor you went to, you said you eventually told them you went to St. Joseph's Immediate Med in Pooler on Canal Street, correct?
Yeah, which I ended up going to, yeah.
Don't get ahead of yourself. Answer as I ask, okay? We'll get to that. My question to you is, did you go to...
No.
Okay, you didn't go to the med, the Immediate Med on Canal Street, but that's what you told your supervisor.
10-4, sir.
All right. They also inquired to you about possible paperwork that you would have had you gone to the doctor when they asked you.
And I didn't have that paperwork.
And you didn't have that paperwork. Why were they asking for that paperwork?
I don't know. I think that's a departmental thing with supervisors, that they ask you for paperwork when you do go to the doctor. That's what I'm assuming.
Okay. Part of something that we had to document in terms of workman's comp, you think?
I believe so, yeah.
So them asking you about your injury and asking you for paperwork to document that you had in fact been seen by a doctor for that injury, was for workman's compensation.
I didn't know that at the beginning.
Gotcha.
I
But
was
that's why they were asking.
10-4.
Okay. So your answer to them when they asked you about the paperwork, you said, did you tell them you didn't have any paperwork, or you left without getting paperwork?
I left without.
Okay. Why'd you tell them that?
Because like I told you, I spoke with that doctor over the phone, and she just told me that.
Yeah, but when you're saying you left and you're saying
I
I
never
was
went to the
there,
hospital.
you're saying they
Yeah.
gave me paperwork or they forgot to give me paperwork, you're implying that you were physically at the doctor, right?
10-4, sir.
But you were not at the doctor.
Correct, sir.
It's also true that you, when they asked you about your doctor, you said you couldn't remember who it was.
Correct.
Okay. Is this because you hadn't, in fact, went to the doctor?
No, I just spoke to the doctor over the phone, that's all.
So, at some point, you made arrangements to actually go to the doctor.
Yeah, because my knee was really bothering me, and I was just like, you know what? I told Sarge that I went to the doctor. I said, I'm just going to go real quick because my knee is bothering me, and from there, I'll just tell them what they say, and that's the reason I went.
Now, was this on the same day, that Friday?
Yes, sir.
8? Okay.
I think it was like, I got to the doctor at 6 o'clock.
Okay. So, was this an authorized visit at this time?
Correct.
And, okay. And where did you go?
I went to the St. Joe's on Pooler.
Okay.
Immediate care.
Okay. And at that place, they conducted a screen of you, correct?
They ended up saying that I had a knee contusion.
Okay. Now, at this point, you were given paperwork.
Correct.
All right.
I forgot who saw me though. I don't remember.
Was anybody else there with you?
Family?
No, work-wise.
Sergeant Petit ended up coming out there, and I saw him outside.
He wasn't there for the screen, but he came later. Okay.
He ended up coming later on, which is when I spoke to him. He had his BWC on. Then he went inside to speak with the nurse.
Okay.
When I went, I don't know if she was the nurse or the receptionist. She was just wearing. They all match. I don't know what they were wearing. But when I came in the next day, when I came in for my next appointment, I stopped and I asked the individual that he stopped to ask questions, and she told me that he was asking her questions that were in violation of EEOC.
Okay.
Because he wasn't supposed to go in there with a body camera asking if I was there or if I wasn't there, and she says that that's patient confidentiality.
Who was this? Who was this?
I know what she looks like, I just don't know. I asked two of them. I asked the one on my last visit, and then I asked the one that he spoke to directly.
Why'd you go back the next day?
It wasn't the next day. It was when I had to come back from my follow-up. That was the day that was on a Friday that I came back and I asked. She was... Hold on, sir.
You just said you came back the next day and asked her.
No. I came back the next appointment because I remember I had two appointments to go back to. Friday is when they cleared me. It was the day before. It was I think it was on a Tuesday that I went. No, I'm sorry. It was on Wednesday that I went.
And which person told you there was EEOC violation?
I don't know.
She was at the front desk?
Yeah, she was at the front desk. I just don't know.
White lady, black lady?
Black. She even gave me a yellow piece of if you guys ask her for the recording, you'll even see it, because I asked her and she said EEOC, and I just said, can I write that down? And I wrote it down on a yellow piece of paper.
So when you did visit the doctor once you got authorization,
yes, sir.
You were seen by a nurse or a doctor?
Yes, the last one. I mean, the one that didn't clear me, I think it was a Miss McDaniel. That was one of the nurse practitioners that told me that I had to come back because my knee was cracking still. Okay. And then I saw a different nurse practitioner. She was wearing all black. She was white with blonde hair. Okay. She even told me, she even left, she left a voicemail to Lieutenant Norwinski telling him that, Esquina, I'm going to put such and such on his paperwork. we recommend that he stays home for the next few days to keep his knee elevated and stuff like that. She left that a voicemail for Lieutenant Orwinski.
Now, initially, you didn't go to the doctor. You just told Sergeant Smith and Sergeant Pete
that I went to.
that you did. Did you tell one of the staff members to say that you had come to the doctor earlier in the day?
I don't remember, no. I don't remember, to be honest. I can't lie to you there or tell the truth, because I don't know.
So, okay. I'm gonna ask you again.
I can't remember, and I'm gonna just.
Ask you again.
Okay.
Did you tell staff member at the immediate med in Pooler on
Oh,
Canal
okay. I thought you were
Street?
talking about it. I thought you were speaking to about the department. No, I think.
No medical members of the department.
Yeah, I
I'm talking
remember.
about- I'm talking about the immediate med.
Yes.
Did you ask someone to tell your supervisor that you were
Yes,
there?
I did.
You did. Why did you tell him to do that?
Because I didn't know if I was gonna get in trouble for this or not. Like I told her, I was just like.
So you don't think asking somebody to lie for you wouldn't get you in trouble?
Definitely.
You didn't. I'm asking. You say you didn't want to get in trouble, but asking somebody to lie for you, a professional medical staff member to lie for you, you don't think that's something that might get you in trouble?
Definitely.
So what did you ask her to do? Exactly.
I was just like, ma'am, could you just tell my supervisor that I was here earlier so I won't get in any trouble? That's all I said.
You know who that was? You told? And so you were asking her to lie to your supervisor?
10-4.
Excuse me?
10-4. And may I ask, how did my supervisor even know any of that?
Hold tight. I said hold tight.
Okay.
All right. So eventually, did you speak with Sergeant Petit after your visit?
When he arrived, that's it.
Okay. Okay. When he arrived at the immediate med. All right. And then by this time, he was also wondering where you were there early in the day as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what did you tell him when he asked you? When he asked you,
I
were
told
you
him, sir, just like in reality, I didn't come here earlier. I've been off for a year. I love my job so much. I just didn't want to get put on leave because I knew that this was going to happen. That's exactly what I told him.
You first told him that you were actually in the building, then you said you wasn't in the building, right?
10-4.
All right. Let me ask you this. To avoid all this, why not just do the first injury report and go to the doctor?
Because I just knew that, like, my knees, like, since I've been, like, 18, 19 years old, my family has a history of knee problems, and my knees, they don't hurt, but, like, if I accidentally hit my knee the wrong way or something like that, it hurts, you know what I'm saying? And I knew that with the situation that I was in, with my knee cracking when it's never happened before and stuff like that, me not able to move it, and me feeling that burning sensation and the swollenness, it was just, I just didn't want to get put out of work for that because I love my job so much. That's the only reason as to why, like I told Sergeant Petit, I just got back. I didn't want to be off the streets. I told him, I said, sir, I just love serving the citizens of Savannah. I just like, I feel like to myself I'm doing them a disservice, even though I did a disservice here.
But when you do a first report of injury, that doesn't mean you have to go to the doctor. That just means that it's documented.
No, I know.
You get to choose, okay, my knee is hurting me, I better go to the doctor. But all the first report of an injury does is document when you got hurt. So when you go to the doctor, they're going to say, hey, when did this happen? And you show them. That's what that's for. I hear what you're saying, but that shouldn't keep you from documenting it. If you didn't want to go to the doctor because you feel like, man, I don't want to miss any work, I'm excited about being back on the street, that still doesn't explain to me, in my opinion, why you didn't do the first report of injury just for documentation.
No, the first report of injury, sir, that in reality, that was a mistake. I just forgot to fill it out, and when I was gonna come to work, I was gonna do it immediately. I just completely
But
forgot.
3 times you had the opportunity to do it before you even got to
No,
the point
because
where,
the
before you even got to the point where you started going to the immediate med, there was a couple of opportunities for you still to just fill it out. That way it was documented.
No, because the day that happened, we had 3 days off consecutively.
Yeah, but you can fill that out before you leave, before you go home. That's what I'm saying.
But this is what I'm saying, sir. I forgot to fill it out. I'm a human being. I forget things, and like I said, I
Understand. In between that time, you took a day off because you said that you needed to rest.
It was Friday. I had Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Right.
I called off that Monday.
Called off that Monday.
Yes.
Because you said.
I was feeling pain in my knee.
Gotcha.
And that's when that happened on a Thursday.
Okay.
And I forgot to fill it out on Thursday. And when I went to talk to Sergeant Smith and Sergeant Petit in the office, when they called me in, they told me you had Friday, Saturday, Sunday,
Gotcha.
and Monday to fill it out. And I was just like, sir, I honestly forgot. And though that happened when my days off happened, it didn't happen during my time that I was working.
Okay.
So it was genuinely a mistake. Every time that I've had to do a first report of injury, when I was at the Northwest Precinct, when I did get hurt or something like that, you can ask. I did my first report of injury, no problem.
So when did you actually fill it out?
I think I filled it out on when I came back to work. I think it was Tuesday.
Okay.
When I came back to work Tuesday, I filled it out.
Okay. And the doctor you said you spoke with over the phone, that's someone out of state, you say?
Yeah. And I didn't know how to go about this.